I think home is a feeling. It's not a physical place because it can also be found in a person you feel comfortable with.
A space where I can let my guard down, a space where I feel safe.
Home is where the heart is.
It's love. It's peace.
You feel welcomed and accepted for who you are, a place of belonging.
Mostly it means laughter, it means warmth, it means joy.
Growing up, jazz has always been in the background. I've had the opportunity to study classical music in high school. And when I got to varsity, I had the option to either continue with vocal art, they called it vocal art, or jazz. And yeah, I just thought, why not try something different? Why not venture into a different musical path? And I'd say that's why I chose jazz. It was something that I wanted to try out, only to find out that it was linked to my childhood as well.
Music has grounded her. My mom used to sing to her a lot. So while she was in the belly, they'd sing to her. While she was being held in my mom's arms, they would sing to her. We sang a lot at home. We sing a lot. My dad used to play music a lot when he's working. And it's actually funny for me because she's the one who picked up from a younger age the musicality of a lot of things. Obviously, I'm more commercial. I feel like I'm just more on the commercial side. She literally dives deep into what music is, from lyrics to keynotes to just a whole lot of, nuances of what music is. So hence I say she's also more molded musically. Yeah. So it stems from a lot of things.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Oh, no more.
Hi everyone, my name is Rorisang Sechele. I am a performing artist, recording artist, singer-songwriter, and creative as a whole. Music has always been around me. I wouldn't say it found me. I've always been surrounded by music since I was a child, from home. Growing up, road trips, music has always been there. So I wouldn't say it found me. It's always been there with me. I come from a musical family as well. So yeah, music has always been there from the beginning.
She's a gentle person. I think she's also an explorer. I don't know if that has to do with age, but she seems like that's someone that's not scared of searching and finding new things out there. And I'm very similar, so I think that may be one of the things we relate and connect on. Yeah, man, she's a cool person. She's a dope human being and lovely person to be around. So it's very easy to work with her.
But basically in music, what we have, essentially how music is built and harmony, we have three chords. We have the tonic, we have what we call the subdominant, and we have dominant, right? Obviously, I won't go into detail, but the dominant, maybe I'll just talk about the dominant and the tonic. Dominant, that's where a lot of the tension sits on the song. And the tonic, that's the point of resolution. And for me, that's what home is, that moment when and then we resolve that chord. I think she's both the subdominant and the tonic. So she takes us to all that point of tension, but she's also there in the resolution. So yeah, the subdominant and the tonic. I think that's where I place her.
Just like her range in terms of style and genres, she's constantly bending and breaking rules and just exploring. And like I said, she is someone that's very, I guess, courageous to some extent. She's constantly searching, doing different things. So yeah.
A home means a space of comfort, a space of love, and a peaceful state of mind.
Where you will always feel love around you.
All those things, the warmness, the laughter, the music.
the theatre of Africa.
State theatre played a very pivotal part of my childhood. I did ballet when I was in grade 1, grade R, state theatre. I think the studio was 4A, I think. So ballet started at state theatre, and then from ballet, choirs. I went to Loreto Convent School, so when we'd have your choir festivals, Stedfords, we would go to state theatre. I went to Jacaranda Children's Choir, or I was a part of Jacaranda Children's Choir, and when we had competitions or Christmas, festivals, state theatre was the place. So that's why it felt fitting, It is the center of Pretoria also, which is where I was born and raised. So state theatre made so much sense. And the name or the title home also made sense because state theatre was my home from childhood as well.
I started my modeling and my dancing career. Everything performance-wise was honed for me at the state theatre. So when I was in primary school, there was an academy called MDH, Munith Dance House. That's where I used to dance. And then they didn't just focus only on dancing. We used to model there as well. So I kind of, got a bit of that grooming from the state theatre. And I think my sister actually mentioned at some point that we both went to Loreto Convent School. So we did the arts there as well. I went to Pro Arte. I also kind of got, honed and harnessed and grew my artistic side at all these schools that I'm mentioning. But the state theatre has always been a home ground for me to come back and remember, this is where it started. So for the both of us, we actually have a story to tell about the state theatre, that our artistic journey, that's where it actually started.
Replenishment, rejuvenation, refreshing, re-energize. It's a place where I find peace, where I, get to connect with myself, where I get to dig into myself and take out whatever negative energy or whatever negative feeling that I'd been given by I'd say the world on that particular day, which of course would have affected me emotionally. So when I play, then I at least get to vent, yeah.
It must have been around 2018. I just finished with my studies and she was doing her first year. Yeah, around 2018, 2019 is when I met her. We only started playing together around 2020 during the pandemic. And I remember when we started working, we were actually working remotely. We were sending through songs to each other. I was working on them at home, sending it back to her. Tato was actually part of the process. And I remember that's when we started writing songs like The Anchor, and all of that stuff. So yeah, around 2020, that's when we started working together.
Okay, so in the context of the band, I think it would be familiarity. You feel more comfortable with people. People you've kind of built with. So I'm a strong believer that the common currency for anything in life is time. So with all these relationships that exist with the band members, we've put in time into nurturing those friendships. So now that familiarity exists, that comfort exists. So that's what home means within the context of the band. And then generally speaking, I think it's the same thing, just feeling safe, feeling like you're not judged. I mean, judgment probably exists, but when it's not verbally expressed, and actually not having to worry about anything, like being able to just exist and just be with no intention, with no motive. I think that's what home feels like.
I mean, look, I don't think I can come up with like one term to be like, this is where I fit in. And the same if I was to talk about the rest of the guys. But there's definitely a natural synergy between the four of us, the five of us rather, that just occurs on and off stage naturally. If you were to observe us closely, actually, especially off stage, you'll see how many moments we have together that are just so unprompted, whether it's like we start dancing randomly or we start laughing randomly. So I don't think I can, or I can't think at the moment of a word or a term that I can say, yeah, this is my role as far as our family structure is concerned. But there's definitely, like I said, a natural synergy and a natural alignment between all of us where we know our roles, we know our parts, naturally so, without having to be like, I am this person in this family, or I'm this person in this family.
We found each other. So I met the Boho from school. That was my first encounter with the Boho, and he was actually my lecturer. He's still a lecturer at TUT. Tato hit me up, and he needed me to write over a song, which happens to be "We Need Love Now." And ever since we collaborated on that song, we've just been nothing less than family and friends. I would also say we found each other, and ever since we hit it off, there's been nothing. Yeah, that's what it's been. Sorry. But yeah, I the thing I like about them is that they really get me. Tato really understands me. He took the time, apart from being my cheerleader and really loving the way I sing, he really gets what I want.
I started playing with Rorisang last year. Yeah, last year. I started playing with her last year.
I met Rory in 2018. In fact, I just saw her. I went to TUT 2018 or 19, somewhere there. During one of the lunch hour sessions, and I saw her. She was performing on that particular day. But we met officially, I think it has to be 2020. We started working together basically last year.
She was featured on the show, so that's actually how we actually met. Tato's show, Tato the guitarist. So there was some performance there in Arcadia, Pretoria. So I was part of the band. So that's how I met Rorisang. And then from there, that's when we started working together.
Have you anything to say? When I'm on stage, I just surrender now. Before, it was very hard for me to, let go. But now I just put everything behind me and I allow the music to do what it's meant to do. I just let go. It's not about me at that moment. So, yeah.
Music, I think, is pretty much the only thing, like major. Like it's for me the best form of expression. And I could be having a bad day and then jump on those things and I forget about whatever's troubling me. So yeah.
Dear listener, I'm not looking for 1 million to hear me. I'm just asking for one person to listen. And I hope that in the midst of uncertainty, your wings will carry you home. Love from Rory.
Home for me is a place of safety, a place of warmth, a place where you feel I'm at home. That's what I'm saying, warmth.
I think a very important thing for me is for my audience to feel like I'm giving them a hug through my music. I want them to feel warmth. I want them to feel home. You can go to different places, go to your friend's place for a sleepover, but at some point there's going to be a yearning for home, for family. And I just want my music to make people feel like after a very long day, you can come home to a hug, to a kiss, to warmth, to comfort.
I mean, it's not a fixed process, and I think with music or just with the arts in general, it's never like a formulated process. So, like I said, there's instances where she has sent me things, and I will work around that. There's other instances where we've been in a session together, and we'll work on something together. And there's other instances where I come up with something, send it to her. So it's never a fixed, formulated pattern or process that we follow. It's always different all the time.
I think when I wrote in a piece, I was at a place of confusion, trying to find myself, trying to understand who I am, more than just what the world needs or what the world requires from a 23-year-old. Trying to know who I really am and not just what my mom wants me to be, what my friends think I should be. I think it best describes me because it talks about it being well with my soul, me not being insecure. What was lost will be found, and later I say it has been found. So, there's kind of like a link of me figuring out who I am, not being insecure, and later on finding myself, sort of, and not being as insecure or being okay with being insecure or imperfect. I think I grew up as a very shy, insecure young lady, and I would always try to hide myself, always try to keep my opinion to myself, but I'm just at a place where I'm free and I'm okay. I'm not afraid to be weird and awkward around people. And if that doesn't fit other people's, image or perception of who I should be, I'm okay with that. So that's why I'd say in a piece is the best description of where I am right now.
I think the journey it took for us to get there makes sense. The establishment of finding the stability of home, I don't think you can give it an age to it because there's so much evolution that takes up, or that happens rather, with growing up. So even at the age of 50, somebody could say they found a home, and it would make sense to me. It would really make sense to me.
Dear younger Rory, oh man, if you could see yourself through my eyes. If I could give you a hug right now, I just want to let you know that you should be unapologetic, have no fear, and allow yourself to make mistakes. It may not make sense right now, but as you get older, it will all make sense. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to go out of your way trying to connect the dots. Just do the footwork and allow God to lead you.
Growing up, we were at a tug of war for a very long time. Like, I can't necessarily say when we were younger we got along as much as we do now. And it's very interesting that our connection now is so deep, but I think for me it makes so much sense and I appreciate it a lot more now. I don't think I would have really appreciated my relationship with my sister back then as much as I do right now. Like now, she's my homie. I don't have friends. She has friends. She's got a circle of friends. She's got people where she can sit there and be like, but for me, I'm okay with just having her as my bestie, honestly. She's my girl. In South Africa. Yeah, so Langeli Beyonce. So the Sechele sisters bring to you It's My Day. It's not been released. It will never be released.
No, it won't. Ever.
So yeah. Ish, but now I forgot how it goes. Yeah. Ta, ta, ta. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Woke up in the morning and the first thing I would say, it's my day. Feeling so fly that my friends will make me say, woo! It's my day. It's my day. Ooh, it's my day.
It's so great.
Yeah,
You forgot the
yeah, I
lyrics.
did. Ooh, it's my day. But I get you're the ones to remember everything all the time. Musically, so it's fine. It's our day, it's our year, it's our everything.
Dear future Rory, thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for not giving up on yourself, not giving up on your dreams. Thank you for keeping the wise words or the pearls of wisdom that were given to you from your parents, from your loved ones. Thank you for making sure that you cleaned those pearls of wisdom. Thank you for just, not keeping what you learned to yourself, for sharing it. That's important. Whatever blessings that you received, thank you for sharing it with those around you. You're beautiful, you're smart, and you're amazing. And thank you for having God as the foundation more than anything. I love you. You've done so much, not only for yourself, but for the generation to come. Not only direct generation, but those in the arts as well. Keep doing what you're doing. We see you. I love you. From present Rory to future Rory. Yes. I'd like to thank the South African State Theatre for having me here for the Youth Expression Festival. It is these platforms that really put us out there, that give us the freedom to express. And I just want to thank State Theatre for considering me worthy enough for being on the stage. And thank you all for coming. Thank you for making this place a home. Thank you for really personifying the word home. I asked someone what home means to them, and quite a lot of people actually said that home is not a place, it's not a building. It really is a feeling. It's the people that you have around you. And even if you leave your house, if you hug someone, you will give them a home. And the people who are here today have given me that home. They are my home. So I appreciate you all so much, and have a lovely Saturday. As for me, this is the end. Yeah. But I think above everything else, I would say I'm an advocate for the arts. I'm all about the arts. I speak art, I live art, I breathe art. It's not just limited to music. I always try to find ways to incorporate different disciplines, whether it's dance, poetry, fashion, through my music, through my performance. And I think you guys saw that with what I presented as well. So yeah, that is me. I am art.